What's going on, everyone? And welcome back from Grand Onslaught 11. So, this is going to be a post report about exactly what happened over the weekend. And you can hear all the crazy lists and who took first, second, and third place podium over the weekend at Grand Onslaught 11. And then we're going to talk about the new meta and all kinds of new lists that are invading 40K. Stay tuned and locked in. What's going on, fellas? So before I introduce everyone, I'm going to give you a drum roll. And I wanted to say co-host today, Mr. Regal Fetterman, will not be in. He's feeling under the weather. We love you, brother. Hopefully you feel better. Take care. We'll see you on the next show. Everyone else will see you. Everyone send comments. Make sure to make him feel better. And hopefully he does. So without further ado, let me get this started. So, introducing Twin Dragon CEO, Mr. Steve Rota. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother, and what you're all about, and then we'll delve into the interview we're going to do with you. And then we have an even more special guest, Daniel Kelly, and he'll introduce himself right after Steve.
Hi guys, I'm Steven Wiggin Rota. I use Wiggin as an alter ego for Ender Wiggin from Ender's Game. He saved the world using a video game, so if you ever do see my jersey, if it's Wiggin, come up and say hi. I'm always friendly, always wanting to talk to people about 40K. If you ever have any questions about Necrons, I'm more than willing to answer. Also, co-owner of Twin Dragons. Shout out to my partner, William Shook. Without him, none of that could have ever been available. His passion and drive helped drive my own, and super shout out to him as well.
Love it, love it. Yeah, shout out to Will, man, a wonderful dude. So
my own, and super shout out.
Wonderful Tyrannus player too, man. So Daniel Kelly, ball it up, brother.
Norn Hub.
I'm just happy to be part of this. I'm a fellow Necron guy, and I worship Steven, and I worship Lewis. So this is great.
He's being humble. This man right here will thrash with Necrons, just like Steve,
right.
man. Just like Steve. Congratulations to Steve. Once again, he came in third place at Grand Onslaught 11, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, my peoples. So, Steve, how did you originally get into Warhammer 40K? And what was your first faction getting in?
So I started it really far back. I was 14 years old. That was a bygone era, and I played just a simple Space Marine Tyranid box that I was given. No paint, Elmer's glue, true story. And I would just play the models. I loved Legos as a young child, and that was just the natural progression after playing a little bit of Diablo. You know, got that grim dark in me, and then went full Warhammer 40K. Loved it all. Played a couple games against my dad too, which was always nice. And played against one of my good friends, Tommy. And never could afford the Necrons box that I always looked at and saw and loved. But I always played with my Space Marines and Tyranids. More often than not, I played the Tyranids because anybody who would want to play me would always want to play the good guys. So if I had to say my first army, it was probably Tyranids, just because that was the one I always was forced to play out of the box.
So would you consider that your favorite army as well?
No. If you know me, I am a Necrons addict. I have way too many Necrons. Until somebody proves otherwise to me, I have the most Necrons in the world. At just shy of 60,000 points.
That's wild. Crazy how you could own so many models. Did you like triple up on every single unit, or what did you do?
Yeah. Essentially, everybody in my area knows that I have an outstanding purchase for any Necron models they want to get rid of. And I sit on at least 3 of everything, including all of the Legends models. Everything as far back as a Night Shroud and a Gauss Pylon. I have 3 of them. And then I have a lot of other models. I even have a couple models of Dan's himself that I took off his hands at one point. I have 7 Silent Kings. I have 8 monoliths. I have 6 Tesseract Vaults, 5 Seraptic Heavy Constructs, and the list goes on. I have 600 warriors.
Holy You just got that you just have a room for that. You just gotta have a dedicated room for that.
I have an entire display case at my store for my play Necrons, which I can make in any list I need to at the store, and then I have an entire home collection. So when you see me at a big tournament, generally speaking, it's going to be my commissioned display pieces. When you do ask, no, I did not paint my own models. I love my models. The painters that did that make me look like I finger paint. So. Yeah, they are beautifully painted, but no, I did not paint them if anybody does have questions. So people ask me all the time, oh, what did you use that technique? And I just have to be like, well, not my technique. He did a fantastic job.
Yeah, shout out to that guy, man.
Shout out to Logan and Zealous Painting. He did a fantastic job painting a lot of my models.
There you go, man. Fantastic job to them. They did wonderful work. If you've never seen them, there's some shots out on Facebook, Discord. If you join it right now on YouTube. In the description section, you can join any of those.
Actually, Lewis, you have a Angron of his.
And
don't you?
This man gifted me a wonderful Christmas gift of Angron that if I put a black light onto it, it has, I think, some particular paints that were used.
Luminescent paints, yeah.
Luminescent. Thank you. They look incredible. That Angron is like my favorite Angron, so now I have 2. So appreciate you for that, brother. So, what everybody came here for, right? They want to check out your list, how you performed at Grand Onslaught 11. You ended up coming 3rd out of 70 participants. I believe there was 2 people who dropped on day 1, and we had 0 attrition, which was beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen that actually happen at a GT where the second day no one dropped. So it was really, really nice to see that. Wish I would have seen Daniel. I know he's personally busy and stuff like that. So it would have been wonderful to see Daniel. Probably YouTube would have clashed at the event. So
yeah. So I'm super happy Daniel didn't show up because if he did, I probably wouldn't have gotten Best Necron Player. So thank you, Daniel. Thank you for not attending that. That was super nice.
I did it for you, buddy. No,
yeah, no, I really
you're good, bro. You are very good.
He gave you a freebie.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, he threw you a softball. Got it.
Yep.
So here's your list right here. If you don't mind breaking it down for the peoples, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, not at all. So I've been playing Star Shatter Arsenal since essentially my Necrons podcast talked me into it. I was always like the guy who avoided the meta and was like, Canoptic Court's fun. I'm going to take this to GTs. And I would always go like 4-3. And they're like, Steven, just play the meta. You know the meta. Just do it, like try it, have fun with it. So I gave Star Shatter a try for the last several months, and I do enjoy it. It gives you everything that a Necron detachment wants. The advance and shoot for the vehicles gives you range and lethality. The +1 to hit means your opponent can't play the game, and there's just a lot of reactive moves. You can just poke out around a corner, so your reactive move hides your DDA for another turn. You come back out and continue firing. It gives you everything you need. With the new adjustments, I begged, pleaded, texted, and every other dimension of this game with Lewis to get a Nightbringer into this tournament for myself. I was denied at every window, but that's okay. So I brought a Void Dragon. Yeah, I know. So I brought a Void Dragon.
And you know what? Hold up. I'm going to stop you real quick because you're going to be able to gloat like hell right now once you break down the characters and what you didn't bring to still come in 3rd. And what other people brought and didn't get into your position. So go ahead, brother.
Yes. So I brought.
So you're welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Actually, it did serve me well. Looking at the tournament breakdown, there were 6, I believe, Tau players and I believe 8 guard players, viewers. So there were a lot of vehicles. Needless to say, my Void Dragon definitely helped me in some of those pairings. But I did not have either the new Nightbringer nor Necrosaur or Minotaur in my list. I don't run 3D printed models. and I refuse to try to ever attempt it. And it was just something that I didn't want to. I didn't want to rely on that. I felt like I had enough skill in the meta to go against it, and plus that bigger base actually makes it harder to deep strike. So that 10 centimeters matters sometimes in a game of inches, because I mean 10 centimeters is what, like a tenth of an inch. So or something like that. Like I don't use European units. I use freedom units.
All right,
so yeah.
What did you have your list? So you had a Catan shard of the Void Dragon, the Hex Mark. What else did you have in there?
So I built my list based on the terrain layouts. I knew that I needed enough screens to stop a melee army from getting into my core. If you get to my core with a melee army, my blast means nothing and I can't do anything to you. So I knew I needed to layer my onion to keep the sweet center alive. And to do that, I allied in Scarab Swarms to screen my backline initially, and then surge forward with a 10-inch move that they can then screen and continue to screen that one side of the board with the 6x12 on the board edge. It's a perfect staging spot for any melee army to just charge through right to a home. If I put my Tomb Blades there, if I put my Scarabs there, if I put my Flayed Ones there, layer after layer after layer, I hold them in that position. I keep them away from my home, and then I pressure their home. They then have to redirect threat back to their home, and I can continue to pressure the game that way. So enough screens for terrain layout 8 and a melee army, and then Star Shatter offers you everything you need to fight against a ranged army on terrain layout 4. Terrain layout 4 is a big open middle lane. So I used enough lone operative to force my ranged opponent, if I had one, to come out, because I knew I had an advantage in the melee. I could just sit and wait for my opponent to play the game and win. So for a ranged opponent, I knew I needed to have enough lone op that was durable to pull them out of the out. How do I do that? I put a Wraith Brick behind them, and I put a Luminor Zeras in front. He has lone operative and is touching the objective. Come and get him. If you don't come close enough, the stratagems in Star Shatter allow me to reactive move away from you, or if you do come close enough and shoot my Wraiths, I reactive move toward you and put more OC on the point. Now you have to deal with them and my Illuminor. If you charge my Illuminor, I charge you with my Wraiths and put more OC on the point. I continued to rinse and repeat this process until my opponent had to allocate way too much, and then I exposed my DDAs and rained hell upon my opponent.
Love it, brother. Love that breakdown, man. So what was your most difficult matchup you felt like over the weekend? And then we're going to talk about exactly who ended up winning it all, right, first and second. But what were your toughest matchups? I know there were some new meta lists that were out. People were bringing out Ultramarines, bringing out Custodes, the newer Chaos Demons with the Puppeteer, stuff like that. So what'd you feel like what was rough for you over the weekend and gave you a challenge?
My toughest matchup was the matchup I tied. And the matchup I tied, which I shout out to Adam Major. I should have lost to you, sir, if we had math hammered that out a little bit longer and realized what secondaries I could have drawn in round 2. You would have realized that scoring just the 1 point for engage on all fronts would have won you the game. So if we had sat there and actually calculated that out, you would have won the game and I would have gone 4-1. So shout out to him. He was a gentleman and a scholar, and he was definitely my hardest opponent for sure. Drakari is a nightmare in the meta right now. I have DR1 everywhere, and he still felt like he melted through me. Okay, I mean, so with melee matchups, and I mean, I have to call them primarily melee at this point. With melee matchups, delivery is everything, and with Drakari, they move infinity and then advance and charge. So they get there. They're there when they want to be there. With the hiding on anywhere on the map, really generally, if you have a 14+ inch movement, you're going to touch what you need to, and badly. So you're going to get bad touched by a Drakari list, no matter where you put your stuff. Again, you have to build layers and layers and layers, and if your army doesn't consist of those layers, and does consist of a lot of infantry, you might as well shake your opponent's hand right now, gentlemen.
Love it. Love that breakdown, man. Yeah, so Adam Major, shout out to him, man. A great Onslaught club mate as well. So shout out to that guy. Also, speaking of Onslaught, how was your overall experience at Grand Onslaught 11? How was it? Tell the people how it was so they know next time when they might be able to participate, they know what they're getting into.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. A lot of people have huge concerns with air conditioning in Florida is always a big concern, right? This place was constantly cooled to the right atmosphere. I always go to some of these places and it might have even been too cold at some, but that's nice. It's a nice turn of events to be like, should I bring my jacket to the event, right?
Exactly.
Because normally it's like, do I wear a tank top or just like pasties at that point, right? So
I
it
love
was
the
very
energy.
nice. Yeah, it was very nice. It was really nice to have that. Cheap drinks, very nice drink selection. Food on site. The tenders would actually walk around and offer you either drinks or food at the table, which I thought was a really nice touch. A lot of the Warhammer Opens do that, but any other Open that you ever go to other than Lewis's, you're never going to get that kind of great experience there. And obviously, one of the best things about it to me, one of the first statements you made, Lewis, was I'm not going to tolerate any. You used the words douchery or something like that, and I liked it because I think that being a gentleman, we are all competitors, but being a gentleman is always your first and foremost obligation to both yourself and your opponent. And with that, I think that
And to your TO.
Yes, and to your TO, and to your TO. And not for nothing, you saying that, oh, my other favorite part about your events as of this most recent one was that top tables were getting chess clocked. I do feel as though that should become a lot of people like to use the S word stigma when they use the word chess clock. I think it should become much more of a standard. So I think that's the S word that we should use when it comes to top level play. I think that everybody should be held accountable for not only their sequencing in the future, but also their time frame. If you want to run 200 models, you better be ready to move them effectively and efficiently in order to get your full turn in. If you want to run more elite models, you can plan around it a little bit better because you have that time frame. There's benefits to running a lot of models. There's hindrances to running a lot of models. There's benefits to running a little bit of models, and there's hindrances to that as well. So I think that every army you choose, you should have an hour and a half of gameplay per person. At the high level brackets, people need thinking time. And it's not fair for somebody to get 2 hours of thinking time and another person to get one simply because they have less models.
Yeah, no, I agree too.
So the atmosphere, the drinks, the air conditioning, the rule set, the TO, everything was phenomenal. I highly recommend, if you've never been to an Onslaught event, you absolutely go. And it's my favorite event to do in Florida.
I appreciate it, brother. And then we're going to get into some more special events here very shortly. But before we get started and we talk about where you're at in Naples, I want to show the world a little bit of something real quick that you shared with me. So stay tuned, check this out. And I am proud to be able to share this to everyone. Make sure to go support. So now that was the one that you gave me that you've made. Now there will be a new one coming in a couple of weeks as well.
Yes.
So it's just nice. It's just nice to show that off. You and Will doing Twin Dragons there in Naples. So let's get right into it. So then we can start talking to Daniel, because Daniel's being a little bit too quiet. We got to include him in here. We can't have him sitting on the bench.
I know he is handsome, but we want to.
I did have a question. So I love the shop name and everything. Wouldn't that be like a triplet dragon?
Okay, right. So,
sorry, my bad.
There were originally 3 dragons, and one of our partners had to step away for personal reasons. And so we did actually change our logo. So thank you for noticing that. It is getting corrected. I am sending that over to Lewis as soon as I get the trademarks to it, and we are correcting the logo. I will also you'll see that one too. It was very perceptive of you, though. Yes, that is 3 dragon heads on a store that's called Twin Dragons. I am not the most direct-brained when it comes to a lot of things. So the logo was a little bit of a misfire.
No, we're actually hiding that from you, Lewis. We actually talked about that plugin beforehand, so he could announce that he's having a new logo for his shop.
Yes, that's what it was.
There you go.
Yeah, so I run a local gaming store with my partner William down in Naples, Florida. I notice, and I'm sure that a lot of our viewers will also notice this, that your local gaming stores like to cater mostly to trading card games, and then you, as a tabletop gamer, get the scraps. I was retired, okay, so I had a lot of free time. I was tired of going to local gaming stores and seeing 2 tables for tabletop gamers and 25 tables set aside for Pokemon, or even as bad as what's the Beyblade. I would see more table space allocated to Beyblade players, ladies and gentlemen, than tabletop Warhammer. So I decided to help change that. I went to a couple stores in my area. The one that I found that had the most passion for Warhammer was Twin Dragon Games. So I invested into Twin Dragon Games, and after doing so, it absolutely exploded. We started off as our first RTT. We struggled to get 9 total players into our RTT. Now we regularly fill up at 32. There is a lot of reasons that I enjoy working with Twin Dragons other than just the atmosphere. The community is phenomenal. The community that has grown from 9 to 30, 50 players at your regular RTTs has really inspired me to push myself to become a better player, to help them become better players.
Love it. No, love it. Shout out to Twin Dragons. You're going to get the logo fixed like you were saying, so can't wait to see the logo. Also, let's get into something special. So last year, 2025, you had an invitational event, a very special event. You called it the Twin Dragons Championship. And this year, you're going to do it again. And actually, December 5th and December 6th, you're going to be running it, hosting another one at your store at Naples, Florida. 32 participants will have the ability and opportunity to get invited to that event. Yes.
So there's a lot of reasons why I wanted to do the Dragons Cup. Firstly,
I love it, by the way.
There's a respectfully to the rest of the United States, I think that you guys, compared to Florida, are less than so. So, with all due respect, we are the most competitive state in this country.
Florida man.
With that, we don't have an invitational, do we, Lewis?
We do not.
Right.
We're deprived of that.
Which is very weird.
Or ripped away from that.
Yeah, very weird for the most competitive state in Florida. I was tired of that mentality. I believe that we deserve invitational more so than most states that maybe get an invitational. We have some of the most apex players in this entire world living in our simple state down here. So with that, I decided to not only create an invitational, but hyper incentivize the most accoladed players to attend.
Yep.
What's the best way to do that? Financially. So my invitational, it doesn't cost you any money, as a simple invitational never would. It is based purely on your resume. If you have completed and placed first in an RTT or podiumed in a GT, asterisk, the RTT has to be over 12 players, then you will get an access code to my tournament if you want to attend all the way down here in Naples, Florida. Last year, we gave away $2,500 worth of prize support to the 32 players over 2 days. We intend to double that this upcoming year. The winner last year walked away with $500 cash. Shout out Steve Tremble. Well done. Played like a gentleman and a scholar. This next year, we are doubling that prize as well. So the first place prize will be $1,000 cash to take home with you. Spend it at your local gaming store. Make them happy. Go get an army from them. I don't care what you do with it. This is all for the community. It's not like you have to spend that money at my store. This is never about that. Our store is going to survive with or without that $1,000 cash. So spend it at your local gaming store and support them. With that, we're going to give away a bunch of other stuff to all the other attendees. So it's not just something that you come down and if you don't win, you lose. You win something no matter what. Each person walked away on average with about $50 to $100 worth of prizes in the last one. You're going to walk away with almost double that in this upcoming one. It's
That's
just
crazy. That's a lot of money, a lot of gifts, man. You do wonderful work. For the record, last year, he introduced us to the brand new Baron of Dice. He had exclusively there with all of the new coins. He also had tons of swag for everyone who participated. There were beautifully painted models. They were gifted away and raffled away throughout the event. There was beautiful painted terrain. Just ran smoothly. Food all over the place in a great plaza. So great location. Everyone had a great time. So yeah, man. Got to check it out. But you got to win for it. You got to win for it, right?
Yes. With that, there are going to be, I do ask that everybody who come to the event, I am particularly strict on myself with sequencing. I hold myself accountable to that. As a Necron player, I have missed entire reanimation protocol phases and looked back at myself, and so I deserve to lose this game because of that. Okay? I do believe that this game in the upper end brackets is played, and the most successful players of that have their sequencing down packed. So I want you as a player, if you see this and decide to try to attend this, to get your sequencing as perfectly as possible. I will personally be disappointed if I look over and I see a bunch of loose play. This is a Dragon's Cup. This is an invitational. I would hope that you come fully prepared to this.
Absolutely. Listen, when it comes to an invitational, people are coming and knowing the rules. They know their expectation. A lot of them are already, acclimated in the field of understanding Warhammer 40K and a lot of the rules. So don't you worry. And guess what? I will be their head judge for you and your store. So, surprise, surprise, everyone. Everyone is going to have to be on their best behavior when Onslaught is representing the game of Warhammer 40K and Twin Dragons. So it's an absolute pleasure of mine. I'm very humbled and honored to be a part of your world. I think that what you're creating with this invitational is very special in the state of Florida for all of us. I don't think I'll allow Steve to kind of speak on this. I don't know if it's exclusive just for Florida, but I know it's exclusive for winners. So get in contact with either of us after you've won a event GT level, and we'll put you on a list and see if you can get in.
I want the so to just emphasize that I want the highest ELO players. I believe that last year for we were the highest ELO 32-man tournament in the entire world, and that we had given away the most prize support for a 32-man tournament in the entire world. I want to have that happen 2 years in a row, gentlemen. So if you want to fly all over from all over the world,
there you go.
Come on down.
Love it. Love it. Everyone's welcome. I love it. Even better. And that's how it should be, right? So
yes.
So with that being said, we're going to go into a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back. And Steve, Daniel, and I are going to talk about all the new meta stuff, all the crazy lists, and what I'm going to try out pretty soon too. So stay tuned and locked in, everyone. Now with a word from our sponsor, Baron of Dice. Baron of Dice is your one-stop shop for premium wargaming dice. Our dice are made with premium resin materials and colored dyes. Each die is hand-mixed to the desired result and then carefully swirled with 2, 3, or 4 colors in a silicone mold before being laser engraved with a wicked symbol and finished in a matte or gloss polish. There are no imperfections in our dice, no balancing issues, no micro bubbles or mold lines. This is the difference between. You can, quite literally, feel and hear a difference with our dice. Whatever game you play, whatever style your team or faction rocks, we're sure to have something to elevate your game. With over 500 styles and over 4,000 customer reviews, welcome to the best dice on the planet. Now back to our show. All right. So first of all, I know we introduced Daniel earlier. I've known Daniel for a very long time. Fantastic individual, fantastic friends, fantastic groups that he's always around. But introduce yourself. Let the people know what team you're a part of, what you are doing in the future, and kind of, talk about you, brother. The floor is yours, man. Finally.
I'm just happy to. No, I don't need a spotlight. I'm just happy to be part of the Warhammer community. A lot of people might remember me from months ago. I had to take a little break. I was finishing my master's
40K
degree.
Players have a short-term memory. 3 months ago is like 2 other editions.
People don't forget the warrior, Rick. So I'm like, no, I was finishing up my master's degree and then I started my doctorate. And
Love it, man.
My buddy Hogan, thank you. My buddy Hogan kind of talked me back into it. And then speaking of the future, we're in the talks right now to try to make something good for a competitive team play.
Great, sir. Now with a word from our sponsor. Sorry about that. Good. Great, not good. You got muted.
Oh, I got muted because so did Steven. It's because when you played the commercial, it automatically mutes us.
Sorry.
No, so we're putting together a travel team to be competitive. One of my really good friends, Hogan's coming back from Japan hopefully soon, and the plan is to hit the circuit hard.
Shout out to Hogan, man. Love that dude.
Everyone loves Hogan.
Is he done with the service or what?
Service? No, he was just in Japan. He was learning the language, and
okay. So he was just chilling.
He was just chilling. He's out there having fun. He's ruling the Warhammer community out there with demons right now. So he's doing his thing.
What?
And he's been doing the Slanesh demon stuff, and then some Kroot as well. So he's been doing his thing, and then he's going to come back, and then the plan is for him, me, and then you fine gentlemen to put together something beautiful. So
what about your accolades? Well, you got a couple of GT wins too yourself, and some. I know you coming back in, but just let people know what you're all about. You played Necrons, right? You predominantly played Necrons.
Steven said I gave him a couple models. I gave him like 20,000 points of Necrons. That's not lower the number. No,
and if we argue about it, it's Awakened, right? It's Awakened Dynasty.
Well, I had everything. I had 3 of everything besides like the big like Volt and the thing. But he hooked me up, so he helped me out when I needed it. So,
love it.
Right now I've been working on a lot of Space Marines, Ultramarines, and Raven Guard. And I'm reworking my Necron collection because if I don't, then Steven will unfriend me on Facebook. So,
I'm like the only models to catch up on now, right?
Well, like we have our little Necron chat, and like I'm the only guy in there that's talking about armies that aren't Necrons.
Hey, plug that in real quick, please check them out too. They do their own Necron YouTube show as well, so check them out. What's the name of it again?
PNW 40K. Kylan, really great dude. Me and him are from the same hometown of Vancouver, Washington. He was like really good friends with my older brother, and then it's a small world, so things happen. So we join him on a podcast every now and then. We talk about Necrons, and then I'm there basically being devil's advocate, talking about Necrons and other armies. But
there you go.
It is good to know what other armies do, so that way we're not all just like one-sided to the meta. So
yep. Yeah, so what do you see? What are you bringing out now, brother, for the Necrons? So you're coming back fresh after a couple months of college, and now you see the new Catans, you see the new Necrosaur. What are you thinking to yourself? Are you thinking any new detachments, or are you still thinking Awakened Dynasty? Or come on, break it down. Break down some Necron knowledge.
Anyone who knows me knows I love warriors. Yep. So I'm not running a list without warriors, right? And so the best detachments for warriors right now is probably going to be like Hypercrypt or Awakened. So 40 warriors in Hypercrypt or 20 warriors in Awakened, and I like the ability to like maneuver and stuff with 20 warriors. We talked about this on the podcast with PNW 40K. I was the only one who didn't have the nuke or any Catans on my list that I'm going to be working on. I don't think Catans are bad, but for me, it's about points and scoring and stuff. Because like everyone here knows, I'm really big into the team mindset, and so if I'm not scoring 75 points a game, then I don't feel like I'm doing my team good service. But in singles, it's way different. So in singles, you can run whatever you need to. But yeah, Awakened is still the way to go for me. Illuminor is too good. The new Mentor model is good. Even with today, I think I caused some commotion in the Necron Facebook groups because I posted in there about how they updated the app. When they first came out in the app, it showed them with a 5-up Feel No Pain, and we all assumed it was a mistake, but people still played with it because that's what the app showed.
Poor form. Poor form.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry. I know I'm more talkative in tournaments, but You're muted, Lewis. Lewis, we can't hear you.
I said in person, you're more talkative. This is the time.
Yeah.
He's being modest. He's played a lot of Ultramarines. He's been playing a lot of TTS. He's still building his armies. So
all right,
he came back fresh.
So what are you seeing in the Ultramarine, brother? Okay, before you get started, let me get the juices flowing, right? So recently, a couple GT winners, and I've been looking at building this too, because I like building into elite armies. Hence why I play orcs. Not elite at all, being sarcastic and shit. But playing world leaders and stuff like that could be elite. But Custos, like 3 Land Raiders. I know a lot of people are running right now. Custos, 3 Land Raiders with Talons of the Emperor. Running a bunch of Guard, Draxus, and Assassin and things like that. Been tearing up the meta right now. I know a ton of people been running a lot of Demons with 3 Guos, the Sloppity Biopiper as well. A bunch of people had that at Grand Onslaught 11. Do you remember D weapons in 7th edition where you would just delete a unit? That's kind of back in the Demons army with that what is it, that character enhancement?
The indirect one?
No. You have to actually have line of sight, but you select a unit, they do a leadership test, and if they fail that leadership test and they're not a vehicle or a monster, they're just dead.
Yeah, so pick a model that dies. The active player picks a model that dies.
Yeah, so when I was at Cherokee, when I was at Cherokee,
Illuminar Caesaris, dead because he's not a vehicle or monster. So
so when I was at Cherokee, I played against an army with 3 Guo or 4 Guos or whatever. It was like 6th round, 7th round, and he had that character, and he tried. It doesn't make you battle shocked, right? Like you take a leadership test, and if you fail, you just die, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So he did that. he did that to me to Illuminor. I believe he killed him once, but in Awaken he comes back to life anyways. So I brought him back to life, and then I killed him, right? And then
you have to, yeah.
Well, it's really funny because like I think he had a good idea that he was gonna like have a very good game against me in that list.
Yeah.
Because the Guo halves OC. But like I run the Warrior Brick with the Catacomb Command Barge with OC3, so I'm like, oh no, OC2, and so the game was just basically like my Warrior Brick across the board with like 4 Guos touching it. I didn't kill a single Guo. I don't think I killed any models at all.
Wow.
And besides the one that killed Illuminor with that one thing, and then he ended up forfeiting like turn 4 because at that point he realized like he couldn't out OC me because
too much primary
punching fist and then it was fun.
Love it. Talk to us, Steve.
So I have just been trying to figure out the meta myself. I think that Drakari seems to be really strong right now. I think that Demons also has a very strong place in the meta at the moment. Anything with delivery. If you're a melee army right now and you have delivery, you're pretty strong. If you can keep your assets alive before that delivery gets there, you're even stronger. What does that the best right now? The deep striking Demons. What does that the best right now? Probably Ultramarines with their surge moves. What does the best right now. Drakari with infinity movement. So I mean that's pretty much the meta right now. If you're a fast-moving elite infantry or an elite infantry destroying army, you're going to find success in the meta.
Yep. Yeah, I'm leaning towards those level of archetypes too. What do you think the archetypes are leaning towards right now? Because I think it's more like land raiders and smaller vehicles, nothing super big, Catans and things like that. Go ahead, Daniel.
I was just gonna say I didn't make it out to Onslaught because my last classes just started, but I did do an RTT in the local area. It was like 36 people, and nice. I ran Raven Guard.
What?
And
they got nerfed.
Well, shout out to Dustin Hammond. He helped build my Raven Guard list, and so I ran what he gave me. It was like 9 Centurions and a bunch of Inceptors, and I got 5th because I paired into Dark Eldar. Speaking of Dark Eldar, round 2, I think people are sleeping on that because like he said, right? It's why orcs, like, even though like they're not like the best army right now, there's some armies that just can't deal with it. So like in a team mindset, right? It's one of those armies that might just have a good matrix because of the fact that like if you can't kill the transport and what's inside, you just lose. And so the problem with Dark Eldar is the fact that like if you look at like the big armies right now, like Ultramarines, right? Even before Victor's Honor Guard got nerfed, I guess you would say. You know, it's still anti-infantry. They have a bunch of AP they can add on, right? It's too much. They have access to fight first. And so it's just like, all right, cool. Yeah, so I paired into him. He's also a very good player that I played against. And we kept the game close, but it didn't matter because like he's anti-infantry and I ran an all-infantry Raven Guard list. So, but yeah, I think Dark Eldar is being slept on. And I think the problem that we have in meta always is that like, we always point out like the 1 or 2 armies that are always like on top, right? Like so like Ultramarines right now, and then Guard. But then there's those armies like even when Eldar was at its best, right? When it was at 75% win rate back in the start of the edition, right? There was one army that always beat them, and we never got nerfed, and it was Necrons because Necrons would beat Eldar, but because Eldar was so high up, people focus so much on what the meta is and not what the boogeyman of that meta is. And so if you build a list that can just automatically beat the meta, but then you can form it to beat like the other good armies, usually you can win an event, right? And so I think Dark Eldar is one of those armies.
You build the anti-meta list.
Exactly.
I love that because that's what I do. I build anti-meta lists too sometimes. I really love doing that.
Yeah, I will never forget too because like I went to Tampa Open and I saw you, Luis, there, and I remember Quentin of Art of War came up to me before the event even started, before pairings even came up, and came up to me and told me I made an Eldar list that can kill your warrior brick, and I felt super honored because I'm like, who am I, right? Like, all right, cool, thank you, like, awesome, right? And I told him I was like, well, I'm not gonna pair into you till like the later rounds anyways, or I'm just gonna lose early on. You don't have to worry about me anyways. And then I'm not even kidding. I paired in him round 1.
Wow.
Right? And he beat me 100 to 25. It was like it's been my worst loss of like 10th edition. And it was all because he built Eldar was already meta, but then he built his Eldar to deal with his boogeyman. And so fun stuff.
That was a fun time too, man, at the Open. I wish we still had that here, but you know what? We got Twin Dragons Cup now, man. So it's A-OK. And I just see that growing throughout the future and just getting better. Also, we got a Wally World coming to DC, so that's going to be a fun trip in 2027.
That's awesome.
Warhammer World coming out.
And they're going to be doing events there, and I think that the competitive team that Daniel mentioned in the early will probably attend that one.
Yep. Oh, yeah. 1,000%. That's going to be a great time, so expect that. So what I'm thinking for the meta right now, the archetype, all right, so what I'm building towards World Eaters right now is more so like Land Raiders, multiple 8-bound units, and either Angron or a Demon Prince to just kind of CP, give me CP, economy, better one. But those archetypes are looking like they're adopting pretty well. The multiple Catans, people running like 4 Catans, people pulling back on the Necrosword now, knowing that it doesn't have the 5-up, feel no pain. But I think those are the archetypes.
Who needs a Necrosaur?
I think that mindset of yours is exactly why, like, our group of the Necron minds that we have for PNW 40K and stuff, it's why we're really high on the Necron Warrior brick.
Yep.
And not to rat like on ourselves for what we want to run, right? Don't build for us, right? It's like one of those things where like
No,
people are building right now for like you have to have AP4 or higher to deal with a Rogel Dorn from guard, or else they're gonna give them the order for +1 save. They're going to give them smoke. They're gonna give them the strat for AOC. Thank you.
Yep.
And so it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, they're gonna do all this stuff. I have to build for this. And now you have Catans where it's like, everyone was always like, oh, Catans can die, but will they die? And it's now like, yeah, they can. They don't die from bolters, but they die even better to, a hammerhead or something like that, where it's like you could roll a 6 for the damage, and then now all of a sudden you're taking 11 wounds before the feel no pain, right? So my meta defense is the fact that like, oh no, you shot a hammerhead at a Necron warrior. You probably didn't even wound it, but if you did, I have a 4-up invuln, and then oh no, you did 12 damage to one Necron warrior. He'll be back. Yep. But yeah, that's exactly what you're saying, right? Like berserkers are scary, right? Like if I see berserkers on the other side of the board in a matrix for teams, I'm gonna say don't put me into that.
Yeah. Especially with a mode with fight first.
Yes.
When I can put them in gore track and have land raiders going through walls and shit like that. So that's actually the archetypes I'm thinking about right now. Is vehicles going through walls, dreadnought, hell brutes going through walls, getting fight first again, having no fire overwatch on a unit getting out of a transport of a land raider, things like that. So I'm thinking that those archetypes, especially the precision, is really, really relevant right now in both shooting and melee form. So real quick before we get into that, we have a quick question for you guys. Are Necrons S tier or just mid-table bullies?
Necrons have always and will always be S tier. So, but with that, we are much stronger now. I mean, because you have to think about it, guys. We've been S tier since 40 million years ago, and we just decided to wake up and give everybody the daddy stick again.
Love it.
But yes, we were in a weird, very stagnant place where every single detachment you felt like you were running, other than Daniel's Warrior Brick, you felt like you were running TSK 2 DDAs minimum, and then you sprinkled in whatever flavor of the week you felt was acceptable. With all the new detachments we're getting, with everything that's the Catan have been buffed, we have immediately gone up to S tier. If you are versing a player and they have a Necron army, there are 4 different detachments that they could bad touch you with right now.
Yep. And I love that. They have a lot of flexibility right now. Hypercrypt, like you were talking about earlier, Star Shatter, the Phoenician one of the Woe, right? The
Pantheon of Woe.
Phoenician is EC, my bad. And then what's the other one?
There's a new cryptic one where you can
Awaken.
There's Cursed Legion and Canoptic Conclave. The problem with Necrons is when you go... In most armies, you go, oh, look, I'm playing a Custodes army round 3. I know what I'm going into. There's Guard, there's Wardens, there's probably a Blade Champion or 2. If they're crazy, they're taking Trajan, and I'm probably seeing a Calidus Grav tank.
Yep.
With the Necron, you literally have to go, oh, I'm versing a Necron player right now. I have to open that list, look at their detachment first, and be like, okay, so this is the detachment they're running. Because me running Necrons and Daniel running Necrons is a totally different flavor. Your Hammerhead against me is going to absolutely hurt my bad touch me. Whereas Daniel giggles at you, right?
Yeah.
So it's just such a large differential between what we can be running that you really are in for quite the circus when you verse a Necron player.
Absolutely. I love the diversity. I love the flexibility in different detachments. And you can't go full melee. What do you think, guys? I don't think you can go full melee in Necrons.
Welcome to the new meta, Lewis. Absolutely, you can.
With the Satans, you're saying, right?
Well, there's 3 different ways to do this now, right? Because I told you that you're going to get bad touched by a couple different detachments. You want to go all melee? Sure. Pantheon of Woe. You drop 4 Catan 9 inches away from your opponent with your king, and then he re-rolls charges and gives them +1 strength. Good luck. Now, that's in Hypercrypt or in Pantheon of Woe. And in Pantheon of Woe, that Nightbringer doesn't care if the Rogel Dorn's using Armor of Contempt because he's AP -5 now. Then there's all different types of, and then in so Pantheon of Woe and Hypercrypt for the immediate melee, if you want to use Catan in that's hyper elite. Now you have Cursed Legion where Flayed ones shine and Scorpic Destroyers shine. right? You can give any unit destroyer. So it's not just like you can give Lichguard destroyers with sustained advance and charge. You can give Wraiths destroyer and give them advance and charge on Wraiths. So you can be hurt anywhere. Melee, ranged, durability. Like I would give durability to the Awaken list, but there is so much lethality in range. There is so much lethality in melee. There is so much durability. There is so much eliteness. There is so much MSU. It is a total circus.
I love the energy. I love the breakdown on the Necrons. What you feel, Daniel?
I mean, I agree. I said earlier today in our group, like, the cool thing about Necrons is, like, if you want to be super durable and be like a stat check, you can run Awaken. If you want to be like Sawtech Dynasty back in last edition, and you want to be like super shooty, you run Star Shatter. If you want to be close combat or like Novak Dynasty, you run Curse Legion, right? Yep. And then if you want to be super mobile and like hyper scory, you run Hypercrypt. So like there's so many different like aspects to the game that you can run where it's like, for example, you play World Eaters, right? Where it's like your list is gonna contain, most likely, Exalted 8-bound, some 8-bound. Maybe you go Angron,
Chaos Spawn,
right? You have 2 to 3 Chaos Spawn. You might run a Forge Fiend. You might
definitely have 20 Zerkers if you're doing it right with Corn Juggernaut, whatever.
Exactly. And so like when we put lists, when we're building our lists and stuff and showing it in our chat, it's like there is no one list that's like I could run a Necron Warrior brick that is super durable, but then someone else might run a Necron Warrior brick that now has the strength
that puts 40 wounds into you.
Yes.
Yeah. Or I can run a Warrior brick. You can run a Warrior brick and Hypercrypt and give it 5s and 6s lethal with the Plasmancer, but then have a Mentor nearby where now you're doing 5s and 6s lethal and 5s and 6s sustained, rerolling everything. And then, winning on 6s against a Catan or something like that. You might not kill a Catan outright, but you're going to deal out.
They're AP2.
Yep, and they become AP2. Like, you're going to kill something. So, there's like a build for everybody.
Yeah. We're the most diverse faction. We have the most detachments of any army that are considered either A or S tier at the moment. And I'm willing to argue with anybody on that.
Especially with the pilots. Where I think that's one of the bigger discrepancies, right? Is that other than you guys and a very niche group of individuals who play Necrons really well, a lot of individuals play Necrons like new beginners play Space Marines, right? So those numbers end up getting very skewed most of the time unless they're teching into a certain detachment. I believe it was last GT week, 72% win rate for Star Shatter throughout the weekend, right? That's just specialists like yourself taking that army, running it through that GT and just performing very well. So I agree with your assessment when you're saying it in a vacuum, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. When it comes into, having the right pilot, things like that. But yeah, speaking of which, how do you deal with the Eldar Boogeyman, which won at Grand Onslaught 11, the Grey Knights and the flexibility and speed of them, right? The Warpbane. And I know we talked about the Chaos Demons, but you guys have ways to deal with all of that, including the Grey Knights and the finesse and maybe even doing well enough against pilots like David. So shout out to David Ozawa, who won Grand Onslaught 11.
I don't. That's why I lost to David last Onslaught. Final round.
See, but that's because Daniel only thinks from an awakened standpoint, right? So remind me again, Catan, they lost their half damage, right, guys? But it's DR1 now, right?
Yep.
So tell me, the power swords on the Grey Knights, what's their damage again?
2, but Paladins can get up to 3. Paladins can get 3.
So Paladins can give it 3, but generally speaking 2, right?
2.
Right, yeah. So we're still our Catan still half their damage. We still have their damage. We just gained 4 wounds, 5 inches of movement on average deep strike, and in some cases we have fights first with the Minotaur and everything else. I think that Catan have been absolutely buffed to be able to deal with Grey Knights. If you're going up against a Grey Knights player and you're versing a Grey Knights player, go ahead and sprinkle in that Void Dragon, sprinkle in that Nightbringer, and you go ahead and have yourself a great day.
What about the Deceiver? You guys are forgetting the Deceiver. The Deceiver and the Deceiver and the Pantheon, I think, is really good. And Awaken as well, because he's super durable in Awaken.
So if you're asking me, I think the Deceiver has done a great job to everybody in the Warhammer community and deceived all of you. You know, he has room to be played.
The epitome of his name. Got it.
Right. Yes. So I think he has variable play. I think that he shines most well in Hypercrypt and a potentially Awakened Dynasty. I don't think that there's as much play for him in Star Shatter. I don't think that there's much play for him in other detachments. But he shines brighter in some. In the Catan Shining Detachment, if you do not have a Transcendent Catan, you should not be running that detachment. So But yeah, I mean, every Catan right now. I mean, you like you said, the players that are not doing well right now, you guys just go run 4 Catan for a couple RTTs. I promise you, until they get points increase, you'll do fine. Just switch to Pantheon of Woe, spend $130 on a Nightbringer, $160 on a Void Dragon, maybe print up some Transcendence, and go kick somebody's ass. You'll have a great time.
I do want to. I do want to.
Can I borrow your army to go to the next RTT?
I do want to, Lewis. I do want to touch back on that Grey Knight thing. We're talking about now. David Azawa is a very good player. All right, let's not get that. Let's not get past that. Right.
Piloting is everything.
His list is also not like most Grey Knight lists. So like, sure, you have a game into that list, right? However, the typical list is going to have like Dread Knights and 3 Librarians who like, okay, cool, you -1 damage. You don't -1 damage to Mortal Bombs, where if each Librarian comes down and they happen to roll 1/6 and now they're doing 12.
That doesn't exist anymore, Daniel. You've been gone a while.
They don't what?
They don't exist.
Sorry, bud.
The Librarians are gone?
Still gonna just bury. Oh no, their ability changed. Sorry, the Katana's still gonna dumpster any of those NDKs. Say hello to my Void Dragon. What are you, a vehicle? Love that for me.
Yep. Yeah, NDKs are not like, they're not in the best position right now.
But the Librarians, still have their ability, right?
Some high caliber players would disagree with me.
Librarians lost the Mortal Bombs?
I'm gonna check it for you right now, but I believe that they lost it, yes.
Yeah, so I'm bringing craziness next RTT. I'm bringing some World Eater craziness. The archetypes are going to change for me.
How do you feel about 80 Berserkers? Is that a bad idea? Like in a team format?
They're so expensive, dude. But yeah, in a team format, I mean, like just 80 Zerkers.
You want to hear the ability? It's actually really, really good. While this model is leading a unit, that unit can only be selected as the target of attack if it is within 18 inches. That's really good. That'll really help against the Catan with the 12-inch range.
Is that really the new ability? All right. To be fair, I have been gone. Right?
Yeah, I told you, buddy. You've been gone a little while. Yeah, they don't slap. I was bad touched by Jack Harpster's Grey Knights. I know when they lost that ability.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a bad day right there.
Yeah. Doom Bolt. Bolt.
I like the World Eaters, though. Like, I like the 20-man brick. I like the fact that you can do -1 damage in combat. I like the fact that you can do an 8-inch Blood Surge. Rhinos have a reactive move, right?
And what?
And Gore Track, yeah. You can reactive move into the vehicle if you're next to it, stuff like that. Yeah.
Like, that's a strong army.
Yeah, I mean, the archetypes that metas change too. So you're going to see, man, a lot more different things now. You're like I said, you're going to see like 3 Land Raiders with Custodes and like 30 guard. And 3 units of just Sisters of Silence. It's going to be crazy. 4 Satans. What are you thinking? You going to run 4 Satans too?
Me?
Daniel? Yeah.
I would rather run 80 Warriors than 4 Catans. I won't do that. So I will say, I actually played against Luis's team at a team event once, and he paired me into his World Eater player when I was running 40 Warriors, and it was fun. He thought I could go in there and kill them, and I had Angron stuck in combat for like the entire game, where he was killing like 5 to 10 warriors a turn, and then he just stood there.
That same tournament when I played Jack, I was running 4 Catan before they had 10-inch movement, and I ran a Tesseract Vault with it. I got 10th place at Crucible that year. I will very likely be returning with a mirror list, something along those lines.
Dude, Daniel, did you hear that Crucible this year is going to be at Disney World at Disney Springs, the Palace?
I did not hear about that.
Warp Dust Crusaders will be attending that. Let's go.
Let's go. 11th edition coming out this year, hopefully, right? Yes. Around hopefully summertime, so it should be something spicy for LVO, for Crucible.
Are they going to say that the 11th edition is not going to be as lethal as 10th, like they did for 10th to 9th, and then it's going to be even more lethal?
Probably so. I mean, dude, if you see like the writing on the wall, how powerful these new codexes are, and D weapons kind of coming back, and USR kind of coming back, so it's looking good. Let's see. I don't know. I have no future insight or background information. But if you know, okay, because of my position, and I'm always delving in the back end, the rules section, understanding the rules at a different molecular level, like sequence, and like Steve likes to say all the time, right? Like understanding the game to that level, you see patterns, and if you follow those patterns throughout the years and what there's done, it looks like it's going to be great. Hopefully, we don't get indexes. I don't know. Maybe we do. I don't know if we get indexes. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
I don't know why they do that. Like, because like the problem with their whole codex thing is they always like either do it all at once or don't do it at all. Because like last edition they came out with Guards Codex. Because I had a guard army at the time, and you had to buy like the special edition box just to get the codex. And then the new edition came out, and it's like, oh hey, guess what? Your codex doesn't have any play, so you spent like $50 on like a special edition codex for no reason.
It's validated. Yep.
Where I believe that the general direction of this game is going has already been streamlined through 9th and 10th edition. I think that they have an idea of what they want to do. I think that they're not going to flip it on its head again. And I think that their last overhaul was they're not going to give us all codexes, give everybody a codex, and then as soon as 11th drops, give everybody an index to change everything that they just worked years on. Right. I just don't see that happening. So I feel like we're going to get mission changes. We're going to get potentially terrain layout changes. And we might even get terrain shape changes where they're not just sticking to the 6x12s, 4x6s, and 5x10s. You might get variant in that. What I would like to see is a terrain layout, a standard terrain layout, and then maybe each player is given one 4x6 to place at their own discretion, like player place terrain, but only one to give variant in the gameplay itself as well. I would hope to see that as opposed to an entire update based on all of the armies. They just did that. They're doing that currently. They're doing that concurrently. They do that every 4 months.
I think they have the codexes made a year in advance, 2 years in advance.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the codexes when they come out, like it's all things that were like pre data slate like updates from like a year prior. So I feel
of course, Daniel.
But I'm saying like what's the most recent codex that came out? Grey Knights?
So just based on production line, you have to think that they have hundreds of thousands of people that want each individual codex. To print 100 a day, it would take you 3 years. If you made 3 codexes a day. Now, if you can make 1,000 codexes a day and you have 100 people or 100,000 people that want it, it's still going to take you 4 months to do that. Right. So, yeah, they have to have this ready years ahead of time. I mean, potentially at least a year ahead of time before they release it. And they update it as they progress into the thing, right? I mean, they're not just sitting there and be like, oh, by the way, this comes out in a week, let's update it a little bit. At least I hope they're not. God, please. Help me.
Hold on. So would you guys maybe like a Grotmis detachment instead of an index, maybe for 11th edition? Or do you want the current codexes to kind of continue to roll through that and just get updates throughout 11th?
With the current state of Necrons, I think what they should do is just pause all rules and points updates from this point forward and continue throughout the rest of history with this exact thing. I think this is perfect the way it is. Catan should be exactly the way they are. Necrosaur should be the exact points he's at right now. And we should always be the best.
I kind of wanted to go back to what 9th edition was, where like they have the codex, right? And then you have a detachment, or like for example, Necrons had dynasties, right? Where it's like if you ran the Soctec Dynasty, you had Soctec Dynasty like abilities, Novak. Same thing for Space Marines, right? You ran Ultramarines, Raven Guard, whatever. Where instead of having to come out with like a bunch of different detachments, and then like the worst thing too is they'll come up with a detachment and like for example, Annihilation Legion when it first came out, and we're all like, well, this is a destroyer cult, but it sucks. So then they have to like fix it. The fix doesn't work. They see that no one's playing it still. So then like they're not selling models. So then finally they come out with this Cursed Legion, which is obviously a lot better. They should just give us a codex with dynasties, chapters for Space Marines. Tyranids has the whatever the hell they have. And you just go on with your day.
Yeah, no, and like I'm about to set it on in the comments too, just having multiple detachments, right? And updating them just makes the game so much, refreshes you, right? Brings you back in, having detachments that have value, like you guys were saying about the Necrons. I unfortunately come from a World Eaters still living in an Index Codex world, which sucks, right? Literally, the Index version of World Eaters is still the best detachment out of the Codex. So you guys got lucky, man.
You realize you have a Catan detachment, right? I'm serious. You have the one where you can bring the Bloodthirster. You bring Angron and 3 Bloodthirsters and some.
And you can give them sustained or lethal. You give them access to your blood rolls.
Yeah. And you're like, all right, cool. Are you gonna kill the Bloodthirster or are you gonna kill Angron just so he comes back to life? And you probably won't kill the Bloodthirster. And if you kill one Bloodthirster, I have 2 more. And Demon Princess with Wings.
I would argue they're not as good at all.
I would agree with you.
They're not as good. I mean, we're cheaper too. I think we're cheaper. We're 305 points for Scarbrand and the Bloodthirster, and the Angron's 340. Which is
I would just run 3 Bloodthirsters. I would go all Bloodthirsters.
You're gonna do 9 moons to the Catan, and then it's gonna pick you up.
All 3 of them, just like, here you go.
Group hug.
What does it do at the end of the fight phase? It does mortals, right?
The Niper?
No, the Bloodthirster.
No, he's the one. If you have the enhancement, he can leave if he's not attached to anything. So he has to charge, kill something, and leave. The problem, he's not killing a Catan. He's not leaving.
Yeah, he can't leave it because he's still in engagement range. Yeah,
don't they
and that's Blood Legion.
Yeah, but don't they move like 16 inches or something like that? Like
he's gonna touch the Catan, and then they're gonna hug each other for a turn, and then he's gonna pop.
Yeah, Scarbrand advances and charges. He's like 8 damage or 6 damage flat, some shit like that.
Well, that's where I think it hurts now is the fact that because the Bloodthirster is a lot of damage for his big attacks. So if you get
6 flat,
Bloodthirster, I don't know. I've never ran a Bloodthirster. I've ran Scarbrand.
I think it's 6 flat.
Cornlord of Skulls is 8.
Yeah, I think he's 6 flat. So that's 5 for a Catan, and then the Feel No Pains, you're saving 2 of those.
Yeah, but you get smacked with 3 of them, you're fucking getting sent to the moon.
They have 16 moons now. Wait, if you only get smacked with 3 of them, he's still alive if I fail every single Feel No Pain.
No way, dude.
He has 60 moons. You just said if you get smacked with 3 of them, that's 5 each.
It's D6 plus 2 damage.
Okay,
and
so
you have
average
access,
6.
And you have access to Lance, and you have access to sustained hits, right? Where it's
and hitting on 2s and 9 attacks each.
Yeah, and not the point. Like my point is if you run Catans, most lists aren't going to run 4 Catan. Like 4 Catans will probably be a good matchup into this because you have an answer for if 1 Catan dies, you have an answer for the next one, right?
Oh yeah, you just throw.
Yeah, but the problem with most Necron lists is you're probably going to run 1 or 2. So it's like, all right, I'm going to throw 2 Bloodthirsters at this 1 Catan, and you have the Void Dragon or the Nightbringer on the other side of the board, where it's like, unless you're in a Hypercrypt, they're kind of they move 10, but.
So what do you think people are taking? They're taking the Nightbringer, 2 variant or 1 variant, and then Deceivers, or what do you think they're taking out of the 4?
They're all good.
They're all
right,
good.
Steven?
Everything is good right now. You could literally cut the head off a chicken and let it pick your Necron army, and it would probably be decent as long as you got 1 Catan in there and a Necrosword.
I'm saying out of the Satans, if people are running 4 Satans, which Satans are they running?
In order, they should be running the Nightbringer, they should be running the Deceiver, they should be running the Void Dragon, and then the Transcendent, in that order.
Yeah.
So in an army where people are taking 4 of them, which 4 should it take? Just all Void Dragons, all
Oh, well, no,
Nightbringers,
you can only take one of each. And in Pantheon
Just
of
take
Woe,
all
you
four
should
of them.
take. Yeah, in Pantheon of Woe, you should take. The Transcendent is the first one that goes in. Everything else is conceptual at that point. If you want to ally in more, that's great. He gives plus AP to everything in the army, not just monsters. He gives plus 1 AP. Your DDAs are AP 5. Your Locust Heavy Destroyers are AP 5. Everything that when he lands within 6 and he takes D3 mortal wounds and he's still alive, he spreads his aura to give every Necron unit that shoots at something in his aura plus 1 AP. That's just strong. So
Yeah.
in
Gross.
if you find yourself in a guard and Tau meta right now, which you do, the Void Dragon is also a super great choice. The Nightbringer goes good into everything.
They fly too, all of them, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
They've always had fly. The problem is they used to move 6 inches. So like,
I
where
know.
are they gonna fly over?
But now they're fast as shit.
Right. And in Pantheon of Woe, the Nightbringer advances in charges.
Charges, yes. Isn't
Oh,
he
and
like 10, 12?
He's 10.
He's 10, but also that attachment is just broken right now. Their CP stratagems are way too cheap. 1 CP fight on death on a 3-up. Oh, and then when I'm done fighting you on death, 1 CP on a 3-up, I explode into you as well. So I fight you and then I explode into you. Good luck.
Wow. Yep. So basically almost kill you and then definitely kill you with the explosion.
Yes. And kill whatever else is around me that you had to charge, because one thing isn't probably killing a ton.
This is wild. I'm loving the energy in the show, though, man. Anything else we want to talk about today, or want to cut loose early? What's going on?
I'm excited to
spend all day
see.
looking at you, Lewis.
Yeah, I'm
You're a
just
beautiful
excited
man,
to see
too.
how everything shapes out in the coming months. I'm trying to make a lot of moves in the competitive scene, and I want to really start hammering into the rest of the world that's watching right now that Florida has some of the highest level of competition in the entire world. So you will be seeing all of us around very shortly. In Dallas, in New Jersey, in Washington, D.C. when they open it up. Watch out for this jersey, because when you're playing us, you are going to enjoy yourself, but we're probably going to bad touch you.
Also, hey, is Dallas, do they have a team event there, or is it just singles?
It's the Dallas Open. My team's going to be attending every single year at LVO and the Dallas Open. Those are going to be the 2 singles events we're guaranteed to be at every single year. We have at least 3 to 4 teams events we're going to be attending. We're looking to make some waves, so expect to see us.
Love it. I'm excited. You got anything to say, Daniel, before we head out today? Can't see this, huh?
No, that's pretty much it.
Appreciated by people. Well, congratulations to you, Steve, once again, and how you did at Grand Onslaught 11. So before we leave, a couple breakdowns about a couple events that maybe some of you might be participating at, and hopefully the people who are listening participates at as well. So we have ATC Florida coming up very soon by Away Games. JD is going to be running that at the end of Florida. So please come out, bring your 5-person teams rather, and come out and have a fantastic time. Also, there's going to be a first time ever camp event where it's going to be a complete full retreat, relaxing, 400 acres of just land, roping, archery, all kinds of great time. We're going to have a developing courses for the teams. It's going to be a 5-man team event there as well. So go check out Onslaught Training Camp. And then we're going to have a couple of GTs throughout the year. Don't forget, Crucible is going to be September 11th this year. And then LVO. So there's going to be a lot of events that we're going to be heading into this year. So can't wait to see everyone. Big shout out to Steve. Thank you very much to Steve and Daniel for filling in. Daniel for filling in for Mr. Regal today. We would love to have you in the show anytime. I know people enjoyed you both. So thank you very much. Love you guys. And to the listeners, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thumbs up as always. If you like the show, please like the show and give us an appreciation. Also, check out Twin Dragons as always, and all of our sponsors. Love you very much. Can't wait to see what the future holds for us. And most importantly, Onslaught Gaming 40K, where victory is just a strategy away. So everyone have a great night. Love you. See you next time, my peeps. Peace.